Hey Dirty Fam, it's your girl Tanaya-Marcia Silhouette, your biblical life and fitness coach, here to help you level up in all 7 pillars of fitness: spiritual, mental, nutritional, physical, social, financial, and sabbatical fitness. This week we are touching on pillar number 6, financial fitness. If you are tired of your money disappearing before the month is over, or feeling like you don't know where to start with building wealth as a woman of God, this one is for you. Let's get into it. It is important for you to invest even when you think you can't. Let me talk to my sisters who are starting over, especially if you've come out of a hard place like incarceration, homelessness, or just deep financial trauma in general. One of the biggest lies we believe is, I don't make enough money to invest. That is not true. We're all starting over. If you've been following my journey, you know I'm starting over as of February of this year. So let's do this together. You cannot afford to not invest. Even if you're starting with just $20 or $50 per month, start now. Now, I'm going to give y'all some game I just learned. When you're first getting started, you will most likely be heading to a local bank to open up a checking account, and the bank will usually offer you a savings account to go along with it. Here's the thing though, most regular savings accounts are like putting your money in a dusty drawer. They don't grow. The interest rates on these accounts are so low that it almost doesn't even exist. And to top it off, these banks just want your money so that they can use those investments that you put in the savings for them to invest in. So they're making money off of your savings. So why don't you do the same? Instead of looking into a traditional savings account, set up a long-term investment account like a brokerage account that lets you invest your money into funds like the S&EP 500 index fund. These funds are low maintenance, historically strong, and they're perfect for beginners. You can use platforms like Fidelity, Vanguard, or even Charles Schwab to start. Some of your banks might offer their own version of that as well. Now, I'm not about to tell y'all what to invest in specifically because I am by no means any expert on investments. But I will tell you to definitely research everything that you invest in. Typically, funds are safer for newbies than individual stocks, so I would start there. Then, as you educate yourself further, you can make better decisions on what individual stocks you might want to invest in based on your financial goals, your values and how they match up with that company, your budget, etc. I will say though that the S&P 500 has stood the test of time, and so that is the only fund that I'm recommending by name to start out with as a savings account replacement option. Another good thing about utilizing an investment account as your savings account, besides the bigger return you'll receive, is that it takes longer for you to access your money when you do decide to withdraw some funds. A traditional savings account is instant access, which is tempting for impulse shoppers. But an investment account typically takes about 2 to 3 business days for money to transfer over to your checking account, which is a great deterrent for you to not use it unless you have actually prayed about it and you truly considered the pros and cons of whatever purchase you're about to make. Key. Now, how much should you put into this account? Start where you are. If you can only do $20 per month, do that. If you can stretch it to $100 or more per month, praise God and do that. The goal is to make it automatic and make it consistent. You don't have to be wealthy to build wealth. You just gotta be faithful and consistent. Now, some of y'all might be asking, what if your budget doesn't make sense? Sometimes this may seem unrealistic to those who are trying to stretch every single dollar that they have. I get it. As an entrepreneur, I really do get it. If your budget is tight and there's nothing left to invest, that's a signal that it's time to look at ways to increase your income. So ask yourself, can you pick up a side hustle legally? Can you sell a skill online? Can you cut some unnecessary subscriptions or eating out? You'd be surprised where your money every month is actually going. That's why it's important to do a budget. Proverbs 13:11 says, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. Even a small step is a faithful step. So start with something as small as $5 and also look into increasing your income with a legal, profitable side business that fulfills a need that someone has. More on that in a different week, okay? So write down these scriptures that I want you to meditate on. Proverbs 13:11, Luke 14:28, that talks about counting the cost and planning wisely. Matthew 25:14 through 30, be a faithful steward over what you've been given. Deuteronomy 8:18, God gives you the power to get wealth. Now comment below, what is one change you're willing to make in your finances starting this week? Let's hold each other accountable in the comments. Drop a green heart in the comments if you're ready to build wealth God's way. And ask me or let me know, what do you want me to talk about next when it comes to your finances? Would you like me to talk about budgeting tips, or would you rather me start out with some side hustle ideas or other ways to generate income legally? Which way do you want me to go? Remember, this is your girl Tanaya-Marcia Silhouette, and I'm reminding you to stay dirty, dedicated to an upright lifestyle through Jesus Christ's redemption, testifying the gospel to obtain an inheritance which is eternal. I love y'all. In real life, remember, your faith and your fitness and your freedom are right here with you today. There's no shame in where you are right now, as long as you are pushing forward and pressing on towards the mark of the high calling in Jesus Christ. Do everything with integrity, with faith, and with hope, because Jesus is right there with you. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.